You're famous for Kobudo, right?
I'm very well known in Kobudo and somehow not known because people choose not to share what my knowledge, right? There's always a jealousy involved, and then people might tell you it's not jealousy, it's jealousy, I'm sure some is maybe not understanding, but I teach a lot of Kobudo. Before me, there was only what they call koryo katas. Koryo meaning classical. Shushi-no-kun, Shishi-no-kun, Sakagawa-no-kun, Xuan-no-kun are all classical forms. Many years ago, I developed in Kobudo kihon katas, basic katas. And everybody kind of like, well, who are you? Or you think you're Miyagi? You think you're whoever? I'm not, I'm me. But if you look at Miyagi, before Miyagi and some of those teachers, there was only classical katas in karate. And they developed basic katas to help teach, right? To develop a better teaching. Not only do I have the basic katas in karate, I also have ranking from 10th kyu all the way to shodan. That was not in the system. It was just, if you go to competitions now, you're either beginner, immediate, or advanced. But there is no ranking like in karate. I developed that and included certain subjects for that. At one time, I had 107 katas. People who see this and hear this for the time, they go, this guy's crazy. I did. Now I only have 55 Kobudo katas in my system. I hope one day one of my students is capable enough to do better than I did, right? Mm-hmm. That's my job. My job is to make one of my students better than me. But in martial arts, I see a lot of, no, this is the only way, because to me, that's choosing to control you. The teacher controlling you, my students. This is what I teach you in the class. This is the way we do. But when we demonstrate or we go compete, I want you to work on something different. I'll look at it. If I don't think I'll let you know, but you decide. Any development of any movement must have a reason. You cannot just do a movement and it doesn't mean nothing. It just looks pretty. There has to be application. So if I see application in that movement, it's a good movement, right? And this is the way we grow. This is the way we get better.
So what made you drawn to Kobudo in the first place? Because sometimes I think people overlook the traditional weapons. Like, how does this apply to modern day?
Well, now, let's look at Kobudo. Kobudo actually means ancient martial arts. Budo, martial arts. Ko, ancient. If you look at the kanji. People get really funny. I called one Japanese instructor here, and he was Japanese. He wasn't Okinawan. There's been a lot of racism between a long time ago. Now it's getting better, from the Japanese people towards the Okinawans. They consider them less than them, just like Mexicans here, right? So I asked him, do you guys teach Kobudo? What do you mean? What do you mean? I go, do you teach Kobudo? Well, what do you mean by Kobudo? I go, well, the weapons. Well, you don't know what you're talking about. Kobudo in Japanese means ancient weapons or ancient martial arts. Well, that's why the Okinawans called it Kobudo, because weapons were the ancient martial arts before open hand, and they might be wrong, right? There's still argument, but they consider the weapons, the sword, the spear, those were the ancient weapons. Well, the Okinawans turned it into something else, right? Because they started using a lot of farm implements to be used against the sword, right? And then those became the weapons of Okinawa, Kobudo.